We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 80.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and a Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 178 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst James Williams and producer Rob Flores. Of course, we are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. You can find us on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. You can find me individually at EthanArmy95. You can follow James individually at
JHW Reporter.
And you can find Rob at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R2 DMs for Ethan.
Okay, boys, before we get started here, first of all, did you almost forget your name, Ethan? Is that what happened there?
I'm a little off right now. I am admitting I'm a little off. I'm still half asleep. Took a little siesta earlier, as I mentioned before we started recording. So
Sir, get
off my game. It's all right.
Get yourself together. Anyways, with that said, Rob mentions R-Truth, and we always start the show with R-Truth and mention him. I want to wish him a happy birthday. The big 21 years old for Mr. R-Truth. Congratulations. Why you gotta be so loud? He's 21. Look how good he looks. And black doesn't crack. He looks like he looks like he's in his prime.
He does.
Regardless. Happy birthday to R-Truth. We mentioned him quite a bit, so I think it was only fitting that we wished him happy birthday here on the show. Go ahead, Ethan.
Happy birthday to R-Truth. And while we're acknowledging people, let's acknowledge the of course the record breaker himself, the history maker.
Wait, no, we do what?
Roman Reigns has surpassed Brock Lesnar as the longest reigning Universal Champion in WWE history, over 504 days. As of this recording, it's like 507 or 8 days. It's been much longer now. He is officially in the history books. And of course, let's acknowledge our tribal chief. James, you want to acknowledge Roman Reigns now that he's, record breaking here?
No, I acknowledged my chief already at the beginning of the show. That was R-Truth.
SMH. I'm sure Rob acknowledges his tribal chief as well. Congrats to Roman Reigns on 504 days.
Does he go another 500 days? Yes or no?
Yes.
You think so?
No question about it. He's gonna be Bruno.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe he has the title. No, I mean, sure.
Maybe
8
more years. He got 6 more years.
Oh wait, what record? Oh, he just broke the universal record. Because I mean, it's not like he broke
longest reigning
Bob Backlund's record or something. It's not like he beat Bruno Sammartino's record or anything.
He will. Unless Hollywood comes calling, which is a great possibility. He's a huge megastar.
Speaking of Hollywood, Mr. Hogan is making a fool of himself at the expense of unfortunately, the sad news of some Hollywood stars that passed away over the past couple of weeks here with Sidney Poitier and Betty White. I think it was Hulk Hogan himself who said those deaths were a result of more commonly known as the vaccine for COVID-19.
That's what it's called.
Sounds
like the Blob, almost like a horror movie when you say that.
I think that's what they like in Britain or something. I think that's what it like the UK. I think that's what they call it. Weird. And I think someone like tweeted British. Maybe. I doubt it. No. Clearly not. No. But no, I just think it's just worth mentioning because it's trending every time, and I keep clicking on it thinking like, oh, what happened to Hulk Hogan? And then I'm like, oh yeah. But so just a crazy situation there, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But obviously, Betty White was said to have had a stroke on Christmas Day, and I think just some complications from that resulted in her passing. So, everyone's gonna believe what they're gonna believe, but just thought it was worth mentioning. I don't know if we mentioned Bob Saget passing away, but Bob Saget has also passed away. I think that's still kind of unknown regarding that situation at the moment. I think he lives in the LA area, got on a plane to LAX and was out doing some shows, and
he was in Florida. It was Florida,
and he was
he was doing some shows.
Yeah, and they don't know what happens, but he was fresh off some shows, so it's not like there was any known illness with him, at least not publicly or anything like that. So we'll find out when everyone else does regarding that whole stuff. But that's your pop culture update. I think maybe we'll get into some other stuff. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the hottest feud going on right now, just in the world, let alone in wrestling right now?
Matt Cardona and Joey Janela?
No, I said the hottest feud. Talking about Elmo and Rocco.
Talking about Elmo and Rocco.
I just think it's the greatest thing ever. Like first of all, I just love the fact that Sesame Street's okay with downplaying a pet rock. Like it's kind of like having Roman Reigns like put down a pet rock. Like you can't have your headliner and Elmo do that.
Why not?
I mean, he's been doing it for years apparently. So, but I'm curious to know how many people have told their kids to stop watching Sesame Street because Elmo's against the pet rock movement.
I don't know, but there was a bit on Saturday Night Live.
I heard that flopped. I meant to watch that.
Did it? No, I was actually.
I heard it flopped. Did you? I didn't watch it. I meant to watch it. Did you watch that at all?
Watch the clip. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
But the actor did a good job being Elmo, and of course, the Rocco's performance was great. So.
But I think it sets up nicely bringing it back to wrestling. I think there's something that can be done there with Rocco and the Rock and Sock connection. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, The Rock got involved a few weeks ago.
The Rock did get involved in it.
He's on Team Rocco.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remember. Was it Mick Foley? Has anyone come to Elmo's defense?
I don't know. I don't remember.
We'll have to see. I think it would be very smart of your chief. If you're looking for a way to get The Rock and Roman Reigns to start a feud.
Is that how it starts?
I'm telling you. Look, I don't know if they need help with bookers and stuff on WWE, but I'm available. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying. Hey, if Nicholas can get in the ring, why can't Elmo?
I mean, he's got some strings attached.
He might be, but I mean, he's older than Nicholas. He has more life experience. I'm sure, he does high flying moves on occasion. Maybe that's more so Grover, but Grover can teach Elmo.
That's true.
So I'm just throwing it out there.
Perhaps.
I mean, Snooki was in a match, so
she was WrestleMania match.
Yeah. Anyways, is there anything else? Anything else you want to?
Let's talk about a superstar who's might be going through a few name changes. NXT's been doing an interesting number of changes over the last several months, obviously with NXT 2.0. Let's talk about potentially the artist formerly known as Walter. Let's talk about Gunther, shall we?
Is that what they're going with?
It seems like a week ago, WWE had filed copyright for the name Gunther Stark, which has drawn some controversies due to the fact that was a former Nazi general, the name of a former Nazi general. Since then, Walter, who defeated Roderick Strong, and apparently what was an incredible match last night.
Just say he got jobbed out.
I can't say that, sir. Not yet. But Walter cut a promo really quickly saying the winner of this match is Gunther, and then proceeded to attack Roderick Strong and Malcolm Bivens. So
maybe there's a misunderstanding. Maybe they said it wrong.
His name on social media is still Walter, so maybe they're seeing the backlash. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're not going to change it. I don't know.
So you're saying this? They said this after the match.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was this this was on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'd have to look back to see what the entrance was. Like what
it was still Walter. It was still Walter.
So they changed it right after the match?
I think they introduced him as Walter, and then he corrected him saying, the winner
he walked in Walter, and walked out Gunther? What? I mean, usually like they take a break and like maybe it doesn't normally gimmick changes don't happen over a match. They kind of happen
sometimes. Has it happened?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a turn, sure. But not if you're just doing it to do it. There was nothing like Walter was Walter. Like he had the one name gimmick. Like, I mean, you
Apparently Gunther stands for destroyer. So
does it though? Does it?
Apparently.
All right. We'll go with that. I mean, sure. I mean, it wouldn't.
I don't hate it.
I would say I don't hate it either, but after y'all said the Nazi stuff, then
if they don't
Nazi
use the
stuff
last
aside,
name, if they don't,
okay,
it's okay.
Yeah, but it's already there.
Everyone's
already there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Yeah. But I just think that's the last person who should have had a name gimmick change, just a name change.
He didn't need one.
There's no reason for it.
Yeah, there was a gimmick change. We're talking about Wendy Chu, who over the last month and a half now at least has been going under this new gimmick, formerly of Tian Shaw, formerly the leader of Tian Shaw. I like this. I have not been watching NXT, but I've been watching obviously the recaps and everything. And she likes to take naps everywhere she goes. I
can't believe. Yeah, let me.
Her gimmick is lazy.
Let me look this up. You sent it to me earlier. I'm gonna open it now.
She reminds me of me. I think that's why I relate to her so much.
Oh, I think I did see this, and I thought nothing of it.
James is finding this out for the first time as we were recording this.
She's on top of lockers and a onesie. They're really doing this. Like
she wrestled in slippers. She looked great in the ring.
I mean, did she even wrestle when she was the other gimmick?
She wrestled twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even remember her. So I mean, maybe that gimmick, the gimmick alone.
I just remembered her name. May Ying was her name in the old gimmick.
I was gonna say the gimmick. I mean, maybe the gimmick change alone. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be a lazy gimmick, but if you said she had a match, that's already more matches than I've heard about than her with the other gimmick. So is it really lazy? I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah,
she
that's interesting.
When hitting the pinfall.
Really?
You gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
Should have a live review.
That we might have to do something like that. I mean, hey, this is the new gimmicks under. You got rid of all the people we named them off last week that got let go from the NXT side, including Regal and everybody else. And this is what you get.
Go. This was earlier today. Scotty Tuhati, as he was formerly known as, he was on the Jericho podcast. He's been, he left the company about a month ago or so, and has since kind of been working the independent scene. He was on Talk is Jericho, apparently stating Vince wanted all the coaches to look younger.
I saw that. I actually have it on my notes. That's
so weird, isn't it?
Definitely
weird. So weird. A bunch of 60-year-olds and 7-year-olds are running the company, but they want everyone under the age of 30 or 40.
Yeah, right. But to Vince's credit, I mean, he does. I haven't seen him recently, but last time I would imagine he looked like $1 million and was still working out every day. But then again, I think Scotty Tuhati kind of was too. Wasn't he supposed to be in good shape still?
I would imagine most of the coaches are in good shape. I mean, they have their own gym. There's a performance center, so I would imagine they stay in decent shape.
That's true. Speaking of people who are apparently staying in shape, I just saw a tweet from Trish Stratus that she was staying in shape. Now she's not at the moment. I think mentioned as someone who's going to be in the Royal Rumble, but maybe that was a little bit of a hint, maybe a little bit of a tease of someone who can be in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Actually, one interview that I haven't had a chance to go and listen to, but I think I had bookmarked, was Mickie James did talk about how that situation played out for her and how she was able to kind of get back into the fold with WWE and participate in the Royal Rumble despite being the Impact World Women's Champion, or and a few months removed now from the trash bag incident. So yeah, so kind of interested to see. Less than a year, yeah. So I gotta listen to that one. I'm kind of curious to know how that kind of stuff plays out, and obviously there's a lot more rumors or talk going around of there's supposed to be someone on the men's side that's supposed to be a big surprise, and I feel like maybe we get a little bit of this every year though, right? And sometimes we expect these big names to come through, and then it's just nobody, or it's just someone on NXT, which isn't always necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, so we'll see. But I'm just kind of curious to see who it is. I know they've kind of played it up like it's supposed to be some maybe an AEW person. They mentioned out some names.
New ECW television champion.
Yeah, who did he beat? Who had it? Hook or somebody? I don't know who had it.
It's Rhino.
Right. Is this the title that Taz brought back, or wait, where is this happening?
The television title. This is GCW.
GCW has the ECW title.
Well, I think Rhino had it, and I guess Cardona beat him.
And he brought it because Taz brought his back on AEW, right?
I don't know. I mean, Matt Cardona is an ECW legend, so let's not forget he retired Tommy Dreamer on ECW. So,
sir, doesn't make you an ECW legend.
Come on now. Perhaps the best era of ECW.
No. But regardless, I know we're getting ready to go to a break here. I believe I think there was at least one title change, if I'm not mistaken. I think
it was. We didn't talk about it last week,
and we'll talk about it. If we're talking about the same thing, and
we're talking about two different things, but it's
we are talking about two different things.
I don't know.
Well, maybe,
when we're returning, we'll talk about the title change. We'll talk more about the Royal Rumble. Maybe we'll give some predictions a little bit later on as well.
Yes, and some numbers.
All that and more right here on episode 178 of Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 178 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst James Williams and producer Rob Flores. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. Find us on YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes, and as well as on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. We got some new champions last week, James.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was intense.
Assuming are we talking about tag champions here? That's what I was talking about.
Unless I'm Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or the Academy.
Yeah, no? I guess.
What do you mean no?
No.
Sir.
I mean, they beat RK Bro.
They beat RK Bro clean. Randy can't kick out of the World's Strongest Slam. It's his Achilles heel, apparently. He lost the world title to Mark Henry. And then he lost the World Tag Team titles to Otis.
Well, I mean,
World's Strongest Slam. So
they are some big guys, so it's like
strongest. I mean,
it's really. I'll go with that. I mean, could you kick out of it? Maybe not. I don't think I would. Don't pretend like you can. Don't think about it.
Roman Reigns good.
Maybe.
Tribal Chief could.
Brock Lesnar could too.
Debatable. Have we seen him kick out of World's Strongest Slam?
Have I seen him? I mean, no, because he's never been put in that position.
Has he not? He's wrestled Henry, hasn't he? Yes, he has.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he has. I don't know if he's actually.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can count the number of people on maybe both hands that Brock Lesnar's wrestled since he's been back, and I think some of that's only because he's had one-offs with Rusev and Kofi at the network only shows, I think. So outside of that, Rusev? Yeah, I think it was like supposed to be somebody else, but then he ended up wrestling Rusev, I think. Or no, was that Undertaker? No, Undertaker wrestled Rusev in that casket match.
It was Jericho. I guess Jericho. He was Jericho.
Jericho pulled out or couldn't do it. Jericho got hurt or something.
No, he was in the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Then what are you talking about?
No, they were talking about it was gonna be Rusev and Undertaker first, and then they switched it to Jericho, and then Jericho just ended up being in that Greatest Rumble, and then Rusev back in.
Right.
I think internet, went crazy. Anyways, off topic. But let's talk about what are your thoughts on Alpha Academy? You don't seem too impressed.
No, I mean I'm all for it. If you're going to continue to treat them like a legitimate tag team, and they're going to be a tag team, then I'm all for it. They got a name behind them, and Otis has done some tag team stuff. Gable has done some tag team stuff before. So if it's something that they can make a tag team out of and is a long lasting thing, then I'm all for it. If it's something where they're just going to come and go, and by the next 6 months they're not going to be a team anymore, then what's the point? So we'll see. I mean, it's just early on. I mean, I thought they did a good job. Obviously, you build them up over time. It's not something where they're just, they're a new team, they're the champions. So and then it just kind of comes down to what they do with them. Are they going to have more teams to run into, or is it like they made this team, they had this team, and now there's no one for them to come up against? Like, it's like you finally get a team there, and then you have no one else for them to go against, right? So we'll see.
Absolutely. Let's talk about another tag team competitor, Rey Mysterio. He's been in the news lately. You hear about this?
Who?
Rey Mysterio. Some big
yes, about the video game.
He's on the cover of WWE 2K22, I believe it is. They're gonna have a deluxe version, and obviously, all that stuff. So people apparently were upset that he was on the cover, not Sasha Banks. I'm sure Rob was one of those Sasha stands on social media complaining about it.
It was so that's kind of interesting, because I don't think I did hear about the Sasha stuff. It's not like Sasha's been around most of the year.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But so here's well, first of all, it was a little underwhelming to me.
It wasn't officially announced,
right? Because I still saw them tweeting something like, "We have an announcement," and I'm like, "You don't say it's the Rey Mysterio thing, because that just happened." But that's probably what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's it is. Apparently, they've also leaked what's going to happen on there. They do have a My GM mode. It's happening. GM mode.
But I think that stuff's been out. I think like they did a conference and like they showed like that was out there. Because I remember sharing that with you.
Yeah, there's more specifics about
it.
I think that it kind of got leaked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have the system to play, so.
Well, you can watch me stream it on Twitch.
I mean, what system do you have, sir?
I have Xbox.
Which one?
The first one.
Do they have? Are they gonna
it should be. I think all games are on both for the time being. Now, I gotta look and make sure. But no, but to the Rey Mysterio thing, some of the tweets that I saw like were all pretty positive towards Rey Mysterio, and the fact that he's covered like what, pretty much 3 generations now.
That's right. They're doing a faction thing where you can make your own faction, and like
they're bringing that back like from SmackDown or something.
A My Faction thing on the video game.
Okay. Yeah. So like, and then you do that, add to your own, make your own storylines and stuff. So I think that's I think it's all cool. I'm not against Ray on the cover, but I think the reason, like I was saying, the reason why I thought it was a little underwhelming is because I thought he was on it before, but I think he was like just an unlockable, like it was an alternative like attire or something. Like he was like a bonus exclusive or something, or like within like the last year or so. Like I felt like he was a bonus thing or something, and they had promotion on him for the game. So I don't get the Sasha thing as much. I mean, sure, maybe, but dude, didn't they have Becky Lynch on it last year?
With Roman.
Yeah.
2020, I think, yeah.
No, last year, because they didn't do one the year before, I think. I think that's what happened.
No, this is for last year.
Yeah. Well, because they skipped
2020 was the last one, which was in 2019.
Oh, I don't remember. I know they skipped one recently, but yeah. So if Becky and Roman were on it, then maybe they could have done Sasha. But I just don't think Sasha. Like, why Sasha? That's just the Sasha fans wanting her on there, and I'm not against it. Yeah, I like the artwork. I like the color. I think it works well. It's Rey Mysterio. Like, name someone who wouldn't be able to relate to or like isn't aware of Rey Mysterio if you're a wrestling fan of the last 20 years. So I think it works.
Rumor has
maybe. Go ahead.
There might be an NWO edition.
Oh,
rumor. Yeah. I don't know. Get a rumor.
I mean, but I don't know what that would do for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
But I mean, it's still, that's good. I mean, I'm not against it. Maybe they could have done something with like Dominic on it too. Like, if you really wanted to kind of push or promote Dominic too, like,
I'm sure people would be up in arms, especially about that.
What, like, you think they wouldn't want it?
Yeah.
I mean, what? Rey Mysterio is not going to be wrestling in 2 or 3 years. I mean, he might.
About that?
Maybe. In 5 years, maybe not. Maybe. Then again, I did finish watching the end of AEW, and I saw Sting jump off some stage or some platform that he probably shouldn't have been, and do a high risk move. So, yeah, I guess anything can happen, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think Rey Mysterio is not a horrible choice. Sure, they could have maybe done some other things. I mean, Seth's already done it. You've had Brock on it before. You had Roman on it last year with Becky. I mean,
you could put Roman again.
Right, you know who you could put on there, Ethan?
Say it with me, James.
Say it with me.
LA
Night. Yeah. We're all in on LA Knight here
all in
on
here.
BTR. That's right.
Oh my God, it's great.
He's right there. The biggest baby face in NXT, right?
I mean, is there anyone bigger? No, they're all gone already.
So. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if we're ready to jump into LA Knight. I mean, we can a little bit, but
I'm always ready to talk about LA Knight.
Well, we'll do it. I caught a little bit of NXT, and
I'm still haven't caught up on NXT, but I know he was there.
It's okay.
Shirt that says his name on it. I know that.
I'm walking down the stairs. I'm getting ready to eat dinner, and who do I see on my screen? I see LA Knight. So I'm like, all right. And he was in the ring. He was calling out Waller or something along those lines. And Waller's out there, and Waller's looking like a boxer. I didn't know he looked like a boxer, but
looks like a lot of things. I don't know if I would call him a boxer, but
yeah, but his gear looks like a boxer, but whatever. Anyway, so he's out there, and then
probably the biggest heel in the business right now.
I mean, apparently so. So
you got a restraining order, right?
Well, and that's why. And LA Knight was saying, let's remove the restraining order and let's have a match. Or if not, I know someone who has just as big of an issue with you, and you can go up against him. And that led to a return from Mr. Dexter Lumis, who makes his return. His music starts playing, and Waller's facing the entrance way, thinking he's going to make his way down the aisle, only to take a few minutes or a few seconds before he turns around and realizes that Dexter Lumis is coming from under the ring and kind of grabs and is trying to attack Waller there. But, Waller manages to wiggle his way through and is now caught in between both LA Knight and Dexter Lumis. And LA Knight lays out the choice or the options for Waller and says, you can either face me right now and lift a restraining order, or you can go against Dexter Lumis. They go to a commercial break and come back. And I see Dexter Lumis there in the ring making his return against Waller. And Waller comes out on top in that one and gets the victory. And yeah, he had some new bodyguard apparently. And
so
can you tell me if it is who I think it was? Or I don't know.
It's not who you think it was.
Who do I think it was?
You thought it was Veer.
Yeah, is it not?
It's his former tag team partner.
Oh, okay.
which is funny because everyone's like, well, his former tag team partner made it
first, right? And he's been promoted, right?
It's the guy that leaked Keith Lee winning both titles.
Mm.
That was that one guy. And we haven't seen him since. I thought he was released. Apparently, I was wrong. He survived the releases. People were making jokes saying he's still in WWE while Keith Lee is gone. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I just saw him and I'm like, oh, that's Veer. You know, because everyone keeps saying like, oh, when is he going to show up?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, wow, maybe they switch courses now. They just put him there, but I guess not. So yeah, I don't know. Are we ever going to see Veer at this point? I mean, at this point, just put him in the Rumble. Like, just debut him in the Rumble and put him on. Give him a run.
That might be where he comes out. I know he's been on main event, so he finds a way to main event. But you know, he gets.
Oh, so he's been. So he was on that, like.
Mm-hmm.
But like since the vignettes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I mean, I guess again, he's not a completely, like, he's not a new character, but he's been there before, and at the same time, the vignette is just saying he's coming to Raw. So, okay, I guess it's not the end of the world, but meh.
He's just lost.
I guess maybe he's still finding his way. I mean, maybe he doesn't realize that it's not NXT and that they move show from city to city. So maybe
he shows up a little late, maybe a little tardy.
Yeah, maybe he shows up after the show's over and he's like, damn it, missed it again. So I don't know. Maybe they're just playing games with him. But yeah, curious to see where they finally go with that whole thing.
Very interested. Getting back on the Waller thing, looks like he has his own bodyguard now. So
I mean, adds a new little element, and I mean, that's about as
what a heel.
Heelish as it gets. Yeah,
any
exactly.
Good heels have a bodyguard.
And maybe, you know, there's a little bit of a rub that can be given there to what is his name? I don't know, Veer's partner. I don't know. What are we calling this guy?
I didn't get his name. I don't know.
They probably haven't. He's probably Walter now. He's probably Walter, and yeah. So that's probably what happened there. Yeah.
Walter and Waller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, there you go. I'm telling you, book me, book me, and I'll book the show.
I'm sure Pritchard would love to have you.
I would listen to all the podcasts, so I don't see why not. But speaking of which, and you know, we talked about gimmick changes already, but Bruce Pritchard was trending because the other NXT gimmick that I guess is being teased now with was that what is it? Was it that's not Saya Ray? Sarai Ray, is that who it is?
Sarai.
And
apparently got a new gimmick. She's a schoolgirl.
They're doing this schoolgirl, like, Japanese thing, and a lot of that's kind of played up like an anime and different things, right? Yeah. So it got a lot of backlash. It got a lot of like a backlash and people going against it. And
WrestleMania backlash?
Not WrestleMania backlash, just regular backlash. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we'll see how the gimmick goes for her. If people are already kind of against it. It's not kind of exactly the way WWE probably envisioned that whole thing starting, but hey, sometimes any kind of buzz is good buzz. So we'll see what happens with that and where they go from there. But yeah, it's not looking too hot of a start for that gimmick. Maybe not the response that they wanted, but it did remind me, because I did see some other different kind of tweets and stuff of WWE with stereotypes. And do you remember when they had Juventud and Psychosis and Super Crazy on the lawnmower, for example?
The Mexicools.
The Mexicools, that's right. That's what it was. I was trying to remember the name.
3 guys can't be, gardeners and have a wrestling gimmick?
Apparently not. I mean, hey, they're just looking for some extra work. Some extra work. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with that?
So
what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah, nothing wrong with it to me, but it'd be that way sometimes. But yeah,
it'd be that way. I was gonna talk about something, but I'm gonna save it until after the break. So I did want to spend some time on this.
Okay, while we do that, I can run through the numbers here real quick. You want to do that?
Let's do that. Let's catch up on some numbers.
So looking at, I'm whiffing. We'll have to do it after the break because we only have a minute. We still have time. I'll do it real quick. We'll start with the show that had the most this week. And that was SmackDown. For the January 14th episode, had 2.1 million.
Throw those ones up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course, the visionary Seth Rollins was on TV. The Tribal Chief was on TV. Great.
And on Raw for the January 10th episode, you had 1.6 million for Raw. NXT with 647,000 for the January 11th. Huh?
Went up.
Yeah, it went up. And then your Dynamite show for AEW on January 12th, just under that million mark with 969,000. Rampage coming in with 526,000 for their January 14th show. So numbers just all about where they should be, or not where they should be, but they're pretty consistent, if not a little uptick for some of those shows.
Absolutely. When we return, we're going to talk about some I don't know how to say it, but we'll talk about it when we get back.
I know what you're talking about.
We'll be right back.
See it.
We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 178 of Beyond the Ropes. I'm your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. This past week was the MLK Day, of course, Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned this to James on Twitter. I said we're going to spend, I don't know how long, like 30 minutes on this.
Yeah, he said 30.
Let's talk about it. Apparently, former WWE, I don't think he was actually on TV. I think he was still training in the Performance Center here. But this is a tweet he had to say. He was a former. I think he's since been released. This is Kazim Famuyide.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm,
so this is what he had to say. One of my personal favorite WWE moments is playing the annual MLK video tribute at the production meeting and Vince getting up mad proudly and saying, "Get up and clap." And then another tweet, he said, to provide proper context, they used to play every one of those dope video packages that open big shows at the beginning of meetings, and Vince would no-sell every one of them except two. Tribute to the troops and MLK. Mm-hmm. LOL.
To be fair, like this is like apparently a thing. Like I remember hearing about this on the Bruce Pritchard show. Like they always go heavy on the Martin Luther King one. And as a African American, I'm not against it. But yeah, for whatever reason, like it's always been a thing, and like you can always count on it. It never fails, and it's always pretty good. And I don't think it's like always the same one year after year. I think they always kind of do it differently.
They change some things around. I think, obviously they include the I Have a Dream, mm-hmm. segment, and, some pictures might be the same, but yeah, they do mix it up. Apparently, yeah, Vince is very inspired by MLK, apparently, as I've heard.
That's his guy, apparently, yeah.
So he's huge on the MLK stuff, so that's good.
He definitely is, and then also the tribute to the troops one makes sense as well. So, mm-hmm. I mean, whatever he's into, but
unfortunately,
I don't know. It's always been a thing though, for whatever reason, because like Bruce has talked about it like a lot. Like it was like a thing. Like Vince just loves doing those for whatever reason.
It's great, so. And hearing him clap during the production meeting and seeing everyone clap.
Yeah, and you know what? Like when you said it to me, I started laughing because I'm just like. I don't know. No, maybe because I maybe it was just like in Vince's like, or like because Bruce Pritchard always would do an impersonation of Vince on the podcast, and so maybe that's just what's in my head. But like it's just great. It's just great stuff.
I think you said it last year, saying you think Vince was the one personally making the videos.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, hey,
he's
whatever.
In the studio and he's in the editing room.
Right? He knows his Adobe Premiere, right? But no,
he's an iMovie guy.
That's a little better than iMovie quality, and knowing the money he has, I would hope it's doing a little more than that.
I'm sure someone fixes it for him.
Yeah, they go redo the whole thing after. One thing I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned before the show, and I'm kind of curious to learn more about it. You mentioned something about Finn Balor.
Yeah, apparently, let's staying on a topic on Vince. Okay. Rumor has it Vince is maybe soured on Finn Balor, quote unquote, in terms of apparently Finn is now, he's now in the Jeff Hardy position of merely there to just kind of put guys over. And unfortunately, recent showings of him losing to Austin Theory, especially this past Monday in Raw, I'm not saying he's done. I don't think so. But,
No.
He is now 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And his one opportunity at the Universal Champion, the first Universal Champion, obviously he lost it due to injury. He has since yet to be back on that kind of trajectory. It's interesting to see where they go for Finn.
I think I wouldn't necessarily call it the Jeff Hardy position, right? Only because that's what with it's with Austin Theory, and Austin Theory is in every segment with Vince now, like the next Drew McIntyre. So I mean, I wouldn't rule it out as game over for Finn, but I mean, sure. And again, if anything, this is maybe more of what maybe not with AJ Styles. I would say maybe it's more in line with what AJ Styles had been doing recently, but I think it's kind of like, let's just kind of keep it low on Finn for a little bit and just go with the flow with him a little bit, and then we'll bring him back up as a title contender when needed.
If he's in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year, I would say he's the Jeff Hardy.
But again, I don't think
since he's been on the main roster, he's had a match at WrestleMania. I think he's only had like 2, but
who? Finn,
but he's had a match.
I mean, he was hurt and stuff.
So
what is this in the chat about Mufasa Ali wanting to release?
We forgot about this. Mustafa Ali on Twitter a couple days ago said that he had requested his release from WWE and stating that he had bigger things that he wanted to accomplish, and he wasn't going to be able to accomplish them in WWE. Apparently, also since then, some stuff leaked out saying apparently Vince pitched an idea to Mustafa Ali, and they got into a heated argument that ultimately got Ali sent home several weeks ago.
I thought you were gonna say that they're pulling back off of Vince. I was like, no way.
I got him sent home. Could have been a stereotypical gimmick, like we're apparently seeing potentially if Mustafa Ali was really upset about it, but very against it. So
I would have to, I mean, it is what it is, and maybe we will find out someday in the future. But it's kind of one of those things for me where it's like, I don't know if Ali's one who would ever get mad or anything, because he's always seemed so grateful and
apparently
humble and very level-headed is kind of what I always thought from him, and that's still maybe the case. It might have just been really something where it's like, I'm not doing that. Everyone kind of has their point. And I think that may have been it for him. So
maybe. I mean, it's not like they've been doing anything with him.
Exactly.
His claim to fame was giving Mansoor the good old rub.
Giving him the rub.
Which now he's back into just kind of randomly
getting jobbed out
on
probably.
SmackDown. So
poor Mansoor. Still undefeated in Saudi Arabia though, right?
He's gonna appear in the Elimination Chamber and win it all. Watch. Yes, another thing. Elimination Chamber is happening in Saudi.
Do the Punjabi prison match. What are we doing? Why are they doing that there?
It's the real life Elimination Chamber.
I guess. Like, okay, so what? So you're gonna fly an Elimination Chamber there?
No, they're gonna ship it by boat, sir. Apparently they've already had plans of this. But yes, it is. I think WWE has confirmed it themselves. They made a statement saying the Elimination Chamber is gonna happen in Riyadh.
So, okay, wait. So it just an Elimination Chamber match or the Elimination Chamber? Like,
I think it's officially the Elimination Chamber because it's
like the show?
February. It's February show. So,
like that's the pay-per-view?
Yeah, hold on. Yep. This is officially the statement. This was made January 17th from WWE. The General Entertainment Authority, in cooperation with WWE, has announced that the Elimination Chamber premium live event, remember, not pay-per-view, premium live event.
That's right.
Will be held at the world's largest pillarless Superdome in Jeddah on Saturday, February 19th, 2022. More details of the event will be announced in the coming weeks. The Elimination Chamber show complements the commitment of the General Entertainment Authority to provide the most famous international events and entertainment shows. This show was preceded by several previous partnerships with WWE to present international shows in the kingdom, which achieved remarkable local and international success, including the recent WWE Crown Jewel show in Riyadh season 2021 and Super Showdown in the previous Riyadh season in early 2020. So it looks like, yes, more Saturday shows, premium live events. Obviously, the Rumble is going to happen on Saturday as well. I believe Money in the Bank in Vegas as well, confirmed for Saturday. So February 19th is the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Riyadh. I don't know if they're going to call it. I guess they officially called it Elimination Chamber. This is the first, I guess, official, like non-Crown Jewel Super Showdown.
Right.
That's WrestleMania, whatever.
That's why I was kind of surprised, but I'm just kind of like, it's
officially canon.
Yeah, I guess. Right. But the thing is because they do, like, there's such big shows, right? That, I mean, I just feel like that no one can ever really enjoy or see. I feel like the Elimination Chamber is not something you can enjoy in person. There's too many things blocking.
There's a giant cage. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, what is the point of watching it? Now, don't get me wrong. You probably couldn't enjoy the Punjabi prison match either, but it's the Punjabi prison match.
I've seen Hell in the Cell live and War Games live. They're enjoyable.
But I don't think yeah, maybe unless you're in the middle where there's the big steel beam on the Hell in the Cell, maybe. I think
I have been to WrestleMania 31, where there is a giant beam in my way. So yeah, it can be very unenjoyable, but yeah.
But I mean the gate is small. But I'm talking about, like, I've heard people complain about, like, the Elimination Chamber or the War Games, where the cell's thicker or, like, more. There's just too much stuff going on. I don't know. Maybe I've never been in part of one, so I wouldn't maybe fully understand. But I just don't think it. Whatever. I mean, maybe they requested it. I don't know. And whatever
Something
they request,
different.
they get.
I think it's just easier than doing a whole separate show.
Now look,
doing the chamber and then doing a Saudi show right after or something.
I think you have I think you have Mansoor in it. I think you have Goldberg in it. I think you have Goldberg's son Cade, whatever the hell his name was,
Gage,
in it. And
Undertaker out of retirement.
Yeah, you can have Undertaker. You have Brock Lesnar
out of retirement.
Shawn Michaels and Roman Reigns, and I think Mansoor should win.
I think he's not even going to make it to Crown Jewel. I think he's going to get released.
Why would you wish that on him?
No, I don't wish that on him. It's a prediction.
So are you taking it back? It's a prediction. That's the same thing.
Predictions. Royal Rumble is around the corner. Saturday, January 29th. For the radio station. We're going to give some vague predictions. We'll give more detailed predictions on Twitter, shall we? I think we'll do, like, final four, final two, maybe first two entrants, and so on. But let's give our predictions and just kind of giving the winners of these matches. So I'm going to bring up the Royal Rumble predictions here.
Are we just giving a winner? Or are we giving?
We can just give the winner. Yeah, for the Rumbles, yeah. Let's just give the winners. We'll do more specifics. Later on Twitter. Let's see. As I get up the list here, the matches we're going to have, as of right now, there are currently 6 matches. The first match, Becky Lynch defends the Raw Women's Championship against Doudrop. Doudrop's totally winning this, right?
No, Becky's gonna win. I mean, why? You think she's gonna lose?
No, I'm messing with you.
I was gonna say, I'm like, what?
Rob, who do you have here?
Retain.
Yeah, I think
you got Becky on this one. I've got Becky. Hold on, let me write this down here. Take it in my notes. We've all got Becky here. Put in the notes. You taking down notes, analyst?
Do you want me, or am I taking my own, or all of them, or what?
Sure. Can you take all?
Sure.
Send it to me on Twitter.
Okay, so what are we doing? What did we just do?
To drop Becky Rob as champion.
And we all pick Becky, right?
I'll pick Becky.
Okay. Sent. Go ahead.
All right, next match we've got. Let's go with the mixed tag team match, which we haven't really discussed. Edge and Beth Phoenix, the Grit couple, versus Miz and Maurice, the It couple. Rob,
I'm gonna go. Go ahead.
Miz and Maurice.
Of course.
Ah,
You make that face, sir. All right.
Because I thought Edge and Beth, but now I'm kind of thinking this would totally be kind of that match where like Miz comes out and gets a victory. But I'll go with Edge and Beth.
I'm gonna go with Edge and Beth. Next up for the WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. I will go with Brock Lesnar. Well, there's an interesting dynamic here because I feel like one of the champions might actually end up winning the Rumble.
You think so?
I think they're gonna do something interesting.
Okay. So who are you taking in Bobby Brock though?
Jeez. I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar for now, but my Twitter predictions might say otherwise. Might have to make a change in a week. These are early predictions, so
Okay.
All right, everyone. So see final predictions on Twitter.
I'll go with Brock, but wouldn't be surprised if Bobby wins. That match goes first or something. Go ahead, Rob.
Bobby.
Next up, we have Seth freaking Rollins versus our tribal chief Roman Reigns.
I'll go with Roman.
I'm gonna go with Roman as well.
Okay. Rob.
Retain.
Of course, you gotta acknowledge everyone. Throw out the ones here.
No.
The 30-woman Royal Rumble match for a women's championship match at WrestleMania 38.
And we don't know everybody, right?
We have not confirmed. We have 19 names, 21 names. Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan have officially announced their participation in the match.
Okay. When do you guys want to go first?
Rob?
Forbidden Door.
What? What do you say?
Got the Forbidden Door winning. I think they're gonna do Liv Morgan. I think they're pulling the trigger on Liv Morgan.
I was gonna say Alexa Bliss. I think Liv Morgan is also respectable, but I think I mentioned it last week. I'm gonna go with Bailey.
You're going with Bailey?
Yeah.
Not against that. Men's Royal Rumble 30-man for the World Championship match at WrestleMania 38. This is a tough one.
You said the men's Royal Rumble?
Men's Royal Rumble.
Okay. Who are you going for? 40 seconds?
I don't know. I might.
I think I had said it before, but I forgot.
I might go with Big E on this one.
I can see Big E. I'll go Big E because I thought Big E was supposed to win it last year, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Rob?
Forbidden Door. An outsider.
An outsider. Oh my goodness. All right. Whoever that is. I mean, that could be anyone at this point.
Okay.
But, that's our Royal Rumble predictions there. We'll
Real
give our
quick,
final predictions on Twitter.
yeah.
Go ahead, James.
No, I'm just saying that just real quick predictions, and then they can
Yes.
change.
Final predictions will be on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. But until next time, this episode has been absolutely too sweet.